Here's a question for you.
Go on.
Hot custard
Yeah.
or cold custard?
Wait, sorry, what's the question?
What's better, hot or cold custard?
Well, that's not a question, is it? Because hot is obviously better.
It's obviously the cold, though.
Are you literally taking the piss?
No.
It's like asking what's better, hot pizza or cold pizza.
Cold pizza.
Nobody serves pizza cold, so therefore hot pizza must be better.
I would honestly, there's a lot of foods that I prefer cold. Pizza and custard are one of them, two of them.
What about hot coffee or cold coffee?
Yeah, I'm not a fan of iced coffee.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah. There's always the exception to
Would
the rule.
Would you rather drink some ice or some water?
Ice.
You'd rather drink. You can't drink ice, can you?
I can chew on it.
Can't be. You can't seriously believe that. That's a conspiracy, that is. You're a fool for believing that. I bet you think the Earth's flat as well, don't you?
Obviously.
Yeah.
I've not seen you in ages. I realise it must have only been
only
a week to the day.
Yeah.
It feels like it's been longer.
It's been a while. Seeing as it's been a while, you went and watched Crufts?
Yeah. Shall we start the podcast?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Hello, and is it me?
It's me.
Oh, it's you. You go then. Should we do it in unison?
Yeah, go. Let's do it. One.
We'll do for like a special, for like our 50th episode, we'll do it in unison.
Okay, what about 25?
No.
Is that not special enough?
That's not special enough.
How do milestones work for you?
See, I don't know.
Because 10's a milestone.
Right.
But then 20, not as much?
No.
But then 25?
I don't know.
50 is again.
But then 50, but then also, if we did 52, we'll probably
That'd
hit
be a year.
We'll probably hit 50 and a year at the same time, maybe, because we've missed at least one.
Yeah.
We might miss another, which might be a double combination. So I'm saying 50.
Okay. Anyway.
Go on, Ben, go.
Hello and welcome back to another week of Two Sheep in a Pool. My name's Ben.
And my name's James.
How you doing?
Yeah, I'm good.
Yeah?
Feel like I've not seen you in a while.
I was just saying this but a minute ago.
What have you been up to then?
I went to Crufts.
Yes.
Saw some dogs.
Were they cute puppers?
There was lots of cute puppers.
Was it good?
It was good.
I have often wanted to go to Crufts, and I've spoke with my mum about going to Crufts.
I would recommend.
Yeah.
If you've not been.
What did you see while you were there other than just dogs?
We kind of went, I've been a few times before, and we normally, there's like the main room where they have, I should know all the words that are right, kennel club things. Okay. There's like a meet the dog section where they just have every breed of dog recognized by the kennel club in one space.
Okay.
So you can literally just walk up aisles and look at every breed of dog.
Wow.
Which we did because me and my girlfriend want a dog at some point, so we made a list of our top dogs, and we both had the same
top dogs. Come on. No. Okay. Sorry.
Made a list of our top dogs.
Yeah.
And we both had the same number one.
Oh, is it some sort of small ugly dog?
It's not.
It's not a pug.
No.
Good.
No. I want a dog that I can run with.
Okay.
I'd kill it if it was a pug.
You can run with it, but it's bouncing behind you on like a lead.
I'll be surprised if you know this breed because I didn't know it. I knew the name, but I didn't really know it.
I feel... Is it... Gina's mentioned dog breeds to me in the past, and I
don't think we've mentioned this one before.
Okay.
Because it was new to me.
Okay.
A Quaker Hunji.
Is it... Okay.
They kind of look like big spaniels.
Okay, what colour are they?
Big, skinnier spaniels. Kind of brown and white.
I think it's Cookie Hunter.
It could be that.
Because I think it looks like a large version of my dog, mum and dad's dog.
Yeah.
Have you seen mum and dad's dog?
I haven't. I can't picture it.
Okay, I'll get a picture of...
You just... Yeah.
Good radio. I'll get a picture of my dog up, and you get a picture of this dog up.
In all fairness, it could be your prince. The person who was there just kept calling them Quakers.
Okay. Maybe that's what it is.
Which must be the cool slang version.
Yeah, is it Dutch?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yes, it is Dutch.
It's a dog.
Because they're similar to the Nova Scotia Duck-Talling Retrievers, which is the other ones that we like.
The classic.
I think they like come from the same... we did all this. In all likelihood, we're probably just going to go for a rescue dog that's a mix anyway. But it was nice looking at all of them. Oh, I've got a picture up. They look lovely. They're such a good-sized dog. Like, they're not big. They're just like a nice medium-sized dog.
You couldn't eat a full one, is that what you're saying?
Couldn't eat a full one.
Surely my mum has put a picture up of the dogs.
You'd hope.
You would hope. In snow doesn't help. Oh, here's kind of a front-facing one that I did, which is probably quite good.
It looks like a big version of that.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know exactly which one
I know exactly which one you're talking about.
They are lovely.
Yes.
They've got such nice temperaments as well, the ones that we met. And like they sound like a proper exclusive breed though. We're both like, this is literally like the perfect dog. But we were talking to someone and there's only a few breeders in the UK. So they were like, you've got to come to all of the meetings that they have across the country, get to know the breeders first and basically become their friends before
they'll give you a dog. Yeah.
I say give you a dog, sell you a dog for a lot of money. Hence why we'll probably go for a rescue dog.
Yeah. Basically, my mum, I think, did the same thing. She was watching Crufts a couple of years ago, saw this dog that was basically a large version of our dog.
Yeah.
I think in the past, my mum mentioned that she would like getting one of those so that we have like a little enlarged version.
That would be so cute.
Yeah, it would have been. But in the end, we've got my dog's sister. So we've now got brother and sister pair.
That's cute.
And she looks nothing like that. She looks like a normal Jack Russell.
Good dogs.
Yeah,
the Crufts was good. We didn't. What I was going to say is they have like loads of different rooms so you can watch like agility courses.
Yeah.
And they do all the showing the dogs and all that. But we only had a limited amount of time.
Right.
So we literally just went in, walked around all the breeds, and then left.
Oh, okay.
And that was totally fine.
Fair enough. I actually watched a bit of Crufts while I was away this weekend.
Yeah.
I watched the Terrier group. See who won that.
Who won that?
It was, I don't know, I can't remember.
Well,
it was a black terrier.
Is, were they a good boy?
They
or good girl?
They were a cute pupper.
Yeah.
They were from Russia. Second was the Jack Russell. Jack Russell came second.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so.
Well, there we go.
I was quite impressed. Right.
Dogs.
Dogs are good.
And you've had an exciting week too.
Yeah.
You're now rolling in dollar from your big win.
I wouldn't say rolling a dollar. I came third in a chess tournament,
which I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I was very happy with myself.
Yeah.
I had a very good tournament. Got 4 points out of 5, and didn't lose a game. So very happy. 3 wins and 2 draws.
On your boxing card, it can say undefeated.
Undefeated.
Yeah.
Yes, I guess. Mm-hmm. In tournament play, in league play, it's different. But yeah.
Undefeated though.
Undefeated.
There we go.
Big nerd. Undefeated.
Proud of you.
I'll tell you one thing though. People. Let me phrase this. The kind of people that are attracted to playing chess, that are going to go to tournaments, are more likely than not to be weird people.
Okay.
I was sat across the board from some people that were quite odd. And in who they were and kind of what they did, often when they were across the board, they were kind of like fidgeting, doing these like, they looked like they had some sort of Tourette's, but they weren't. I spoke to them afterwards and they were just like normal, but when they were...
Just like, the suspense of waiting.
Well, I think, and also like when they are concentrating so much on the game, maybe their body's just having some sort of like do and dance by themselves. So I had one that was like kind of just like stroking where his mustache would be.
Yeah.
And one that was kind of just like twitching his head backwards and forwards. It was very, very odd.
But then that all disappeared
after the
games
game.
are finished.
Yeah, we spoke to them. I spoke to them and like went through the games, a couple of them, and they were just fine.
How strange.
Yeah.
Do you see that in like elite level chess?
Not generally, I don't think. And I don't know whether I was just unlucky to go against people that were...
a room of weird...
were twitching away. But it is interesting how I was looking around the room when I was playing, and a lot of people have the head in hands, kind of like holding their own head up. Concentration is very interesting to see a full line of men doing that.
How would you describe your style of play?
Do you mean how I, as in not my style
what
of
you've
chess, or like what I do while I'm sitting there?
How do you catch a ball?
Yeah, I like to think I kind of sit cross-armed and just kind of like stare at the board.
Yeah.
But I don't know, because maybe I'm a twitcher as well.
Twitch uncontrollably.
But I don't know, because I'm assuming these people don't know that they do it as well.
Maybe. So, or maybe they do. Maybe they lean into it as a distraction technique.
But maybe. Well, it didn't work though, did it?
No, that's true.
Boom. Yeah, so I should get £100 for that third place finish. Pretty happy.
Good stuff.
Thank you.
Yeah. Have you got a complaint?
I do, but I've also got like a little story for you as well.
Go on.
So where I live, you know where I live?
I do.
I live in this complex that has a lake in the middle of it. And it often has like geese there that people don't really want because they make a mess and they're loud and annoying.
Okay.
And so what I think they've done is the complex. They first started out with this little owl that they put by the lake, I think, to try and scare off the birds.
Not a real
Not a real owl.
Okay, yeah.
Like a plastic fake, maybe, I don't know, 40 centimeters tall. And didn't seem to have any effect. So that owl stayed there. And then they got a heron, like a fake heron, that they place on top of this like bollard.
I'm guessing that's bigger because your hand was at this height and then it jumped up to this height.
Well, this was a measurement, and this was actually a recreation of what the heron looks like. So I had my hand out and like kind of the beak. Yeah, but the problem with that was that it wasn't secured very well, and because it's been windy, there's been some sabotage, but I've been driving past it and it's been like fallen on the floor. I saw it floating in the lake a couple of days ago, and every time then I'll go past it the next day and it's like been tied back up.
Yeah.
So I don't know whether someone's sabotaging it or it's fallen off.
You're gonna go back today and it's just gonna be chained.
Yeah, maybe
to the floor.
Well, what the newest thing that's happened is that they're no longer chaining the heron on top.
Okay.
But what they've got is they've got a third bird.
Okay.
And that third bird is basically a fake flamingo. Just on a stick. It looks like, you get like an animal on like a balloon animal on a stick.
Yeah.
It looks like that they've just taped to this bollard. So there's just bright pink flamingo just like over the lake.
So are you suggesting that there's a hierarchy on the importance of these birds?
Maybe.
Because you're saying that they were chaining up one, but now there's a flamingo.
Yeah.
They're securing that one, and the others are like, if they get blown away, it's fine.
Well, maybe, because so the owl, I think, was on top, and then it's now sat by the side of the bollard.
Yeah.
The heron was on top, and then is now, I don't know whether it's broken so much that it's just on the side, but that's down on the floor now.
So you're just going to end up with a pile of discarded dead statue birds.
Yeah, I don't know whether the reason they're doing this is to get rid of other birds.
Or maybe they're testing out, maybe the geese aren't suitably scared from owls or herons, so they're just testing out different birds until there's one ruler.
Though. I literally drove past it and laughed my head off. I couldn't believe that they
Is
put
it
a flamingo.
pink?
It's bright pink.
Is it actually?
It's bright pink.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
I was picturing like statue, just generic rock
No.
colored.
That's why I say it looks like an inflatable balloon.
Right.
You know with those little sticks with the little circles on the end?
Yeah.
It looks like that's what it's attached to. I'll take a picture of it when
Maybe
I go back.
it's just a balloon.
Maybe. And someone's just taken the piss. Like they've knocked this heron off enough times. Like, right, you get a flamingo.
I can't believe I've not noticed these birds.
Yeah. I think they're quite a recent addition. You've not been around in a while.
I've not been in a while.
No.
Well,
Why have you not been around, Ben?
Don't know. Don't really like you.
Oh. Anyway, moving on. That was my...
Anyway, moving on.
Have you got a complaint?
I have got a complaint.
Go on then.
Okay. So, in recent weeks, we were talking about the fact that YouTube have announced that they're going to stop advertising conspiracy theories so openly.
Right.
Due to people believing them as real, basically. I am now on board with them.
Okay.
People are idiots.
Who have you met? Who did you meet? So you've met someone, obviously.
I went for a haircut last week.
Right.
I was sat in the barber's getting my hair cut.
That's good. Don't stand up there. It's weird.
And I was just talking to... I don't really like small talk at hairdressers because it's always awkward.
Mm-hmm. So you went straight into conspiracies?
So, no, the guy brought up Netflix that was cutting my hair. I can't remember how we got onto this.
Right.
But I asked him, what have you been watching recently, Dan? And he started talking about a flat earth documentary. So this then spawns. There's maybe 6 people cutting hair in the barbers, and this spawned a massive conversation between all of them off the back of this. So the one to my right, this is the main culprit that I'm going to be talking about, and he's a moron.
Can you give him a name or a descriptive?
What about Jeremy? Is
Jeremy.
that a good name?
Jeremy's good.
Okay. So Jeremy chimes in, suggesting that the world is flat.
Right.
The person cutting my hair was like, you don't seriously believe that though, do you? Because he was kind of mocking this documentary that he was watching.
Yeah.
And then this person chimes in. He's like, well, I don't actually believe it's flat. Not necessarily, but if you're the kind of person that believes that the earth might be flat, you're probably a pretty clever person and open to some good ideas. And I was, at this point, I was like, I think he's joking. And then as it goes on, he's definitely not joking.
Oh, dear.
So the conversation then goes towards, we covered a whole host of conspiracies, but he was saying dinosaurs weren't real. They were made up by the government. He was saying evolution is a lie that the government are forcing down our throats. And then someone was like, well, what about the moon? What about, space travel? He was like, well, that's what they want you to believe. And he kept referring to they. And I was like, who is this they that...
Illuminati, Ben. We've been through this. You should know now that you're part of the Illuminati.
I couldn't fathom it because there was along this line of barbers, others were chiming in, and only 2 of them out of the 6 were laughing, being like, "You idiots! Why you can't actually believe this?" And then the rest of them were kind of like, "I do see where you're coming from. Actually, like there's some pretty good arguments happening here." And I was like, people, I at this point, at the start, I was joining in the conversation, and towards the end, I was just kind of sitting back, just listening to the horror that was unfolding.
Are you just happy that you got your hair cut not by Jeremy?
Very much so, because if there was just a queue, I hadn't booked with anyone, so I could have ended up with Jeremy.
Yeah, it's a good job you didn't ask for like a round on the top, and he just comes with a flat. I've seen clips from that Netflix documentary.
Yeah.
Of people they do like experiments, don't they?
I had no idea. We didn't actually get to talk about it because Jeremy was such an idiot.
Basically, what I've seen is they do this experiment where it's like, if the world was round, this is what we'd see. If the world was flat, this is what we'd see.
Yeah.
And then they do the experiment and goes, and basically, I'll explain the experiment. They have like these 2 boards that are set up about maybe a mile apart, maybe, I don't know, a certain distance apart, and then you have a light on the other end. Okay. And if you have the light at a certain level, if it was flat, the light would just come all the way round, and then you'd be able to see it because it like that. Where if it's round, you'd need the light to be higher up,
right,
to get that angle that comes down.
Okay.
Basically, it was like we need it to be either 6 meters if it's flat or 9 meters if it's round.
Yeah.
And they were like, hold it at 6 meters. And they couldn't see anything. Mm-hmm. And they were like, okay, now hold it at 9. And the light just shone through. Yeah. They're like, and then like they just can't, they have to like fake their way through it. They like, have to come up with a different excuse as to why that doesn't work at all.
But it made me realize, we said this on the conspiracies that we've done before. Someone who believes in conspiracies, there is no way that you could make them believe otherwise.
No.
Because it's just madness to them. Because I think the person cutting my hair, or someone said to Jeremy, they were like, well, why can we see other planets other than ours and they're clearly not flat? And he was like, oh, they are flat though, because they're just angled towards us at the... yeah. Mm-hmm. So that just infuriated me.
Yeah.
And that's my complaint. It's about Jeremy.
Well, the thing is, Ben, all the ones that are flat, that aren't angled towards you, you can't see them.
Can't see them.
There you go.
You've swayed me.
Right.
Have you got a complaint?
I do, but mine seems really petty now.
Oh.
I'm going to have to say it now, aren't I?
You're going to have to. Yeah.
What is your opinion on using...
Wrong.
Okay. What is your opinion on using the phrase RIP?
Are we verbally writing?
Verbally saying RIP.
I would never say RIP.
Okay.
There is no circumstance where I would say that.
Right. Good. Because I was listening to the radio and they were doing this celebration of a rapper, of UK rapper.
Yeah.
And they had people on the stage and I can't remember his name now. I feel really bad. But they were like, RIP rapper. And like on stage. And it just sounds so insincere.
It does.
It sounds like, I don't really care about who that person is. I don't know. It just sounds really false to me.
I'd completely agree.
Good. And that's my complaint of people saying RIP.
Yeah. I don't know whether that stems from my hatred for most abbreviations.
Yeah, maybe.
But no, there's something. I think again when I was a child, I remember seeing RIP and thinking, why does it always say RIP when someone's dead? So I think there's always that like little association of just RIP as the word, which doesn't sound very sincere or loving.
And neither does RIP. I don't think so either.
RIP. I mean, is it that much harder to say rest in peace?
Oh, that was good harmony.
That was very good. I enjoyed
that. No, I don't think so. And I think it sounds much more sincere. Yeah. And I don't know. Is there then much difference from going RIP Dave?
Yeah, it just doesn't sound very good.
No.
So if I die, don't say RIP or RIP in the case of my death.
No. I don't know. It just sounds fake. But anyway, that was my one complaint. I'm glad you agree.
I'm with you.
We agree on one thing for a change. That's good.
Yeah.
Should we move on to News Bleat?
News Bleat, here we go. Welcome to News Bleat.
Welcome to the news.
Where we cover all the hot news.
Well, I've got actually some like real interesting news, maybe.
Oh,
The internet is 30 years old today, Ben.
that's news.
Yeah.
I'd missed that as well.
Yeah. So, the guy that created it, Sir Leeburn?
I thought you were going to say Lancelot. Don't know
Sir
why.
Lancelot. Oh, what is he called? Please cut this out and then I can say what his actual name is.
Okay, I'm not going to cut anything out there.
Of course, I don't know why I say it.
No.
Tim Berners-Lee. That's what he's called.
So, not Lieberman.
No, I said Lee Burns is what I said.
Lee Burns.
And so Tim Berners-Lee.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not far off, is it?
Yeah, I see.
I think is he the creator of the World Wide Web, which I think is known as the internet. I don't know if the internet's a different thing.
I mean, yeah, it could be. Might not be.
But anyway, the World Wide Web, I think, is officially 30 years old today.
Happy birthday.
Yeah.
I mean, we wouldn't be doing this if it hadn't
that's
been
what
made.
I mean. I'm going to say, is the internet possibly the greatest invention in modern times? Do you know what I mean?
It probably is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you think if he hadn't invented it, it was an inevitable creation that would have happened?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably. I think so.
Yeah.
I think it's probably something that will come about, like just being connected.
Because
via
all
one
it
thing
is
or another.
effectively
Yeah.
is just a massive database,
Yeah.
like at the stem of it.
Because when I googled creator of the internet, it was something different.
Yeah.
I don't know what the difference is. History of the internet. So the internet protocol was developed by Robert E. Carter. This is boring. I'll move on. Sorry, I don't know. I'm listen to James read about the Wikipedia article. The history of the internet begins. No. Yeah, because we had computers before there was the internet.
Yeah, because I imagine there must have been some like peer-to-peer file sharing that would have predated the internet.
Well, that's basically how the internet came about.
Yeah.
Is that he created this local server?
Yeah.
I think it was for a scientific community where they could do stuff like that, and then it just spread and spread and spread and spread and spread from there.
Well, there we go. 30 years. I've got some. I don't know whether you've heard this news or not. So, have you heard about the wolves being airdropped into Michigan to kill moose?
I've not.
Have you not?
I've not.
So apparently, I think due to climate change, there's this area in Michigan where they used to get these like ice bridges that would form at parts of the year, and wolves would kind of migrate between, and nature would happen.
And it killed things.
But then eventually, with things warming, the ice bridges don't form anymore, and apparently the moose population has exploded, and there's no wolves to keep the numbers down, and apparently this is affecting things badly. So 4 wolves have been selected, and they've been airdropped in to assassinate moose.
Are they going in as lone wolves?
They
Or are they a pack?
Well, I can answer that.
Go ahead.
The wolves don't know each other currently. They're not
Okay.
part of a pack, so they're going in lone with the hopes of forming a pack.
Okay.
Is their hopes. I think they're hoping to get 20 wolves eventually.
Right.
There.
Okay. Ben, what is the multiple of moose?
Mice.
I think it'd be meese,
Meese.
right? What's the multiple of goose?
Geese.
No. It's geese, isn't it?
Yes.
Goose, geese, moose, meese.
I see your point.
Thank you.
Do you want to
This is my
trademark
TED Talk. Welcome to multiples of animal. Sheep.
My girlfriend has one for that she thinks that they should be shoop.
No.
No, you're not a fan of that one.
Because what's her
Meese is fine. Oh, I can't remember. Ask her. She has reasons.
Shoop doesn't rhyme. Flock of shoop.
Are you saying that anything plural should rhyme?
No. But only because moose and goose rhyme. So
Yeah.
do you know what I mean? That's how.
Oh, I see.
Time times lime limes. Yeah, you see how they go there?
I see that.
Yeah.
Flawless logic.
Flawless logic. And we wanted to talk about these killer wolves.
Yes. Well, there's no more to say, really. I just thought the idea of wolves being airdropped in was pretty...
Yeah, do they get them
Pretty cool.
in like a helicopter, or do they like just grab them with some sort of claw out of a pack?
I like to think that they get a helicopter.
Yep.
They put a harness on the wolf.
I'm going to say on the helicopter.
They arm them with a rifle.
Right.
Put some shades on the wolf.
Yeah.
And then he just snipes them from up above.
Okay.
That's how I like to picture it.
I think that'd be pretty cool. Imagine being killed by like a sniper wolf.
Sniper wolf.
Oh, actually, I've got some extra news from what we mentioned the other week, actually.
Go on.
Did you see about the man who was attacked by a cougar and he killed it?
Oh, yeah.
Did you see the follow-up that was this?
No.
There was stuff...
Don't say it's fake.
No, it's true. It's true. But there were people on Twitter like giving him grief because it was apparently that this cougar was a juvenile, and it was like he was like, why are you killing it? And it was like, because it attacked
Because
him.
it was trying to kill
But
him.
like there was people that were actually like saying like, oh, I can't believe you killed a juvenile.
I'm actually surprised that I didn't see more of that online.
Yeah.
Because inevitably, I mean, it happens on anything on the internet. If you see a picture of a baby eating food, there's
Yeah.
someone underneath saying, this is horrific parenting. That baby's clearly doesn't want to be eating, and it's torture.
Yes. I'd rather just eat the baby.
Yeah.
Why do they say these things?
So that doesn't surprise me at all.
No.
If you were getting attacked by a wild animal, you're going to defend yourself.
Yeah. What you're supposed to
It's
go easy on
simple
it because
as-
it's a junior. Do you know what I mean?
If he had gone out to hunt juvenile
Yeah.
animals, that would be a totally different thing. But it wasn't. He was just going for a jog and he almost got killed.
Yeah. So I thought that'd be some interesting follow up there.
Yeah.
Right. Have you got any more news?
I'm done on the news front. Oh, actually, I saw. We've not done any film reviews for a while, apart from last week.
About a week. Yeah.
I saw Captain Marvel.
Oh yeah. Hot or not? Not her,
will-
but the film.
Warm.
Okay.
It's good,
Yeah.
not great,
Not great.
but
Okay.
it's not bad.
Right.
I'd say if you tiered Marvel films, it's in the lower tier, but not at the bottom.
As a comparison, is it better or worse the DC female superheroes whose name escapes me? Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman. Is it
We
better or
got
worse
there.
than Wonder Woman?
I would say they're very different in tone. I'd say probably better.
Okay.
I think that the trouble is, I was discussing this afterwards with someone, and I think if another studio, say DC, bought this out,
Right.
I think my response would have been, this was really good
Right.
compared to their other films. But I think because they've kind of raised their bar quite high, it came out and...
Raise the bar. Get it? We're a sheep podcast.
We need to work more
Sheep.
punny segments in.
Are we two shoop in a pool then? We're not
thought
two
of that.
shoop in a pool, are we? Silly woman.
Oh, maybe she's saying one shoop, multiple sheep. I can't remember. Anyway,
Okay.
I think because they've raised their bar quite high,
Yeah.
this one wasn't quite as high as some of the other films.
Okay.
But still good.
Would you recommend me to go and watch it? Is it relevant to the rest of the films?
Yes and no.
Okay.
I don't think it adds anything to the... I think that's kind of the reason I wasn't as enamored with it. It didn't really add anything huge to
Yeah.
the overall world.
Was there anyone like other superheroes in it that from other films, as in like crossover wise? You know, like
Yeah. I don't think it's spoilerific to say that. If you've watched a trailer, you'll know
okay,
that there is.
cool,
Yeah.
cool. She's not. Is she going to be in Endgame?
Do you want me to say? Is that spoilers? I don't think it's... She is.
Okay,
yeah.
cool.
I don't think that's too spoilers.
I mean, I could probably just check if the actress is billed. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Cool.
Anyway, fake news or not?
Fake news or not?
Right then.
Right.
What is fake news or not, James?
Oh yeah. I don't know. What is it?
You tell me. It's your segment.
So this is where I come each week. I need to stop saying.
You
that,
really
don't
need
I?
to stop saying that.
I think it's the way that I put and then I stop.
I swear, when you pick some of your sentences,
Yeah.
you pick them the worst way of phrasing it.
Yes. I bring to the table each week some news that is either fake or that is true and is mostly ridiculous.
Yes.
And Ben has to fight his way through this trash to see which one is fake or not.
And I did say last week I was going to tally up the overall scores, and I did not do that.
Yeah, that's fine.
So next week, maybe.
Next week, we'll just say that I'm winning. That's fair. I like that.
I don't think that's fair. I don't like that.
What?
No.
Okay.
Right, hit me.
First one.
Yeah.
Man arrested.
True.
Doesn't say Florida man.
Okay.
Man arrested for choking driver who wouldn't stop singing Christmas carols.
I love that. Okay.
Okay. And the second one is vlogger admitted to hospital after trying to complete a 30-day roadkill challenge.
Okay. Well, let's come back to that one.
Right.
Let's go back to the first one.
Yeah.
So, details, please.
So I think it was a kind of an Uber kind of situation, something like that, where a man gets in a car.
Yep.
And the driver will not, I repeat, stop singing Christmas carols.
Okay, key bit of information.
Yeah.
What time of year is this?
Pretty recently. So,
Okay.
I mean, we're not far from the Christmas.
The thing is,
time?
if it's post-December,
Yeah.
that's even more of an issue
Okay.
because it's not Christmas anymore.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know at this moment in time.
Okay. Funny that you don't have this detail.
Okay.
Okay. I almost, as a joke, started playing some Christmas songs at my gig a couple of days ago.
But you didn't.
I didn't. It was because it started snowing while I was playing.
Okay.
And one of the bartenders was like, "Oh, look at that."
You could have thrown like a weather outside.
I played Jingle Bells on the guitar, but no one noticed. And
I didn't know.
I thought it was hilarious.
And I've no longer got a job there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyway, right.
Yep.
Okay. So when you say he choked him, did he kill him?
No.
Or did
No.
he just...
He just did a little strangling.
Just a little strangle?
Little strangle. Just a little... You know.
Yeah. I'm trying to picture... I hope he was sitting directly behind him. Something about that seems funnier than if he was next to him.
Directly behind seems like he's some sort of assassin.
Reaching round the chair.
Yeah. Whereas like turning
yeah.
sideways... I feel like you couldn't get a good grip if you were turning sideways.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he'd see it coming.
I mean, but you're driving. What much can you do? I mean, you could probably one hand bat him away, but he's still probably choking you at that point.
Yeah. Well, okay. I'm actually going to answer this now.
Okay.
Because I like this story so much, I'm saying it's true.
Okay.
I'm just going to go in at that straight away with no regard for thought.
Okay.
Next one.
Yeah.
I can't remember what it was.
So a vlogger was admitted to hospital after a 30-day
Yes.
roadkill challenge.
Right. So I'm guessing the challenge is that he has to eat roadkill every day for 30 days.
Yeah.
At what point did he get ill?
So it's quite late, so it's maybe like 20 days into it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Somehow that makes it less believable for me.
Okay.
20 days of eating roadkill and he's not ill before that.
Yeah, but you can eat roadkill. That's true.
But he is there's a lot of irritating, obnoxious vloggers on the internet
And
who would do
podcasters.
something this stupid. No, all podcasters are lovely people,
Especially us.
especially us. Should we do a roadkill challenge?
Dunno, I don't think... No?
I don't think I'd come across that much roadkill.
I think it's more of a countryside thing.
Yeah, I feel like we'd have to drive around for a while.
Yeah.
Before.
Did you know legally you cannot stop and pick up your own roadkill, but
Okay.
you can pick up somebody else's roadkill?
Why?
So I think the idea is so that you don't go
And
around.
how do you know this?
I don't know how I know this. Basically, so that I think you don't go out of your way to try and mow down a badger and then you can eat it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I love how the assumption is that you want to eat your roadkill.
Well, I think that's the idea. I think people do eat roadkill. I saw a
Evidently.
Yeah, when we were away, me and Annie, I saw a Come Dine With Me where one of the meals they served up was a B-road venison or something like that, and it was venison that had been a deer that had been killed on a road, and he served it up.
Well, that's awful.
Why is that awful?
I don't know. Just something about it sounds awful.
Yeah. I mean, it's not going to waste, is it? Would you eat roadkill? Like, would you go to a roadkill restaurant?
I'd be intrigued.
Yeah.
I suppose it depends how... But the thing is,
it
when
only
you
serves
say
mince.
roadkill, I don't picture a freshly killed animal. I picture a corpse that's been driven over 50 times and it's just been rotting there for 2 weeks.
Yeah, no, I think the idea is you get there kind of quickly.
Yeah. But then that would suggest that if you're a restaurant, you must be planning to mow down as many animals as possible. Otherwise, you'd never have any stock.
I'm not saying that there is a restaurant for
No,
that,
I know that.
But I imagine...
Just on principle.
If you were a restaurant, you could put out maybe bounties.
First come, first serve.
Yes.
They just shout from the rooftops, "We've got a fresh one!" And then they just have a queue of people trying to get in.
Yeah, or you put a bounty out for like food, and then people bring their roadkill in, and sell it to you, and then you sell it on to the customers.
Right. I'm actually going to change my answer. The first one I don't think is true, because I think this one is true, and I don't think you're going to go for another true.
Okay.
First one is fake.
Right.
This one is true. Final answer.
Okay, you're wrong.
Oh no!
You should have stuck with what you had.
Is it a true?
No, the first one's true.
False.
True, false, yeah.
God damn it, I'm such an idiot.
You were like, I'm going to come out the bat. This one's going to be true. It's going to be true. And then change your mind.
Didn't go with my instincts again.
Yes. I win. I'll try and find out what he says about the choking man. See when it was, because I didn't have the thing up then. I only had the title. So this was...
Stop your happy singing.
This was posted on March 8th, so only a few days ago.
Oh.
Yeah. So it was around 9 a.m. Monday when a state trooper was waved down and told about a possible medical emergency just before an exit. When he got to the scene, investigators said the trooper spotted a minivan parked on the side and two men on the other side of the guardrail. According to the criminal complaint, the victim told the trooper he was driving the minivan with his passenger, a 25-year-old Clayton Lucas. The victim told the trooper that Lucas reached around his seat while he was driving and began to choke him.
So he was sat behind him.
Yeah. Yeah.
How much of an angry person with such a short temper would you have to be to, instead of just saying, "Oh, could you pull over and get out the car," you try to kill him?
Yeah. The victim told the trooper he was singing Christmas songs, so the victim, Lucas, tried to choke him to make him stop singing.
And the trooper went, "Oh, that's fair."
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, that's fair enough. And apparently he didn't want to get arrested, so the trooper had to sweep his legs out from under him. There you go.
Good bit of news. Well done on your victory. I am not bitter in the slightest.
Enjoy the vloggers one, though. I thought it was good.
Yeah, that actually sounds like something super believable.
Yeah.
Even if I'd stuck with my true, I think I still would have
gone true
with this one as well.
Yeah. I think the vlogger sells it.
The vlogger does sell it.
I originally just had man.
Yeah.
Like man admitted to
But
hospital.
the 20-day bit did put me off for a bit. So I was thinking, that's a long time.
I didn't know. You didn't ask me what he was in hospital for, and I had plans for that as well.
I just kind of assumed
Generally.
generally food poisoning.
Yeah, I was going to say they don't know. It might be
or something.
food poisoning, or whether it's a virus he's contracted from the dead bodies.
Well done. Again.
Yeah, you don't sound bitter at all.
No. I'm gonna have to tally these up now. I think you're back in the lead again.
What do you mean back in the... I was never not in the lead.
I think there was how many weeks on the road did I think it was a good 3 or 4 weeks that
I think I got 3 weeks in the row.
Yeah. On the row.
I feel like we've
just
3 weeks
changed.
up the row. I'm from North, don't you know, Ben?
Have you seen that video of mocking his father for his accent?
I haven't, no.
I think they must be living down south now.
Right.
But there's this 2-year-old child who's clocked onto the fact that his dad sounds different.
Okay.
And the mum's saying, "Oh, can you say a word?" And then he'll say it in a northern accent, and the child's just laughing at him. And then the child at the end, he's like, "Daddy, can you say car on the road?" And he's like, "Car on road." And then the baby's like, "Ah, car on road." I just thought it was so good that a 2-year-old's roasting his dad.
Nothing wrong with a northern accent.
Well,
not that I have much of one, to be fair.
Well, is it so ridiculous that someone could sue you over it? Did you see that flawless segue I just did there?
Wow, I'm impressed, Ben.
We're going to go on to the main topic and all will become clear.
Oh, gee. That's like a shit news channel, like really forcing a segue in there. Like they're like had nothing else planned.
That was supernatural.
Flawless. Well done.
Flawless.
Yeah, so if you hadn't guessed, we're doing about northern accents. No. What are we doing, Ben?
We're doing the most ridiculous lawsuits that have ever happened.
Yes.
Let's talk about some lawsuits.
Right.
Okay. Headline. Is that the right thing? Okay.
Yeah, because these are the ridiculous ones that made news.
Yes.
Normal lawsuits don't make headlines.
That's true. So, 2 high school girls ordered to pay $1,000 in damages after leaving a neighbor a plate of cookies and a note saying, "Have a great night."
Were these grandma cookies?
They were not grandma's cookies.
There's a throwback for you there,
That's
people.
a big throwback.
Oh, it
that.
is.
So, what do you think happened here?
Did it make someone believe that they were Father Christmas?
What?
Because you leave cookies out for Father Christmas,
Yeah.
and then they came and saw it, and they thought, maybe I'm Father Christmas?
What?
I don't know, Ben. I don't know. No, I don't know what's happened.
Let's get into the story. It doesn't involve Father Christmas.
Well, why would you leave cookies out, Ben? That don't make any sense, does it?
Oh, God. Right, okay.
If they're not grandma's cookies, and they're not for Father Christmas, what are the point of cookies?
Right. They're goodwill cookies.
Right.
Okay. So, 2 girls, Taylor and Lindsay, they're both 18 years old. One night, they decided to skip a dance that was happening. I think it must
How are
have
they
been like
spelling
a school,
Lindsay?
Lindsey. Is that all right with you?
Yeah, that's just the way. Lindsay can spell be very, very different ways.
Okay.
And the dedoxing my mum here. That's how my mum's name's spelled.
Lovely.
There you go.
Okay.
There you go, Lindsay. Shout out to you. My biggest fan.
Well,
Sorry for interrupting you again.
Taylor and Lindsay,
Yep.
not your mother, just to
Could be.
clarify. Both 18 years old, they decided to skip a local dance that was happening.
Mm-hmm.
And they decided they were going to do a nice thing for their neighbours. And they cooked a batch of chocolate chip cookies,
Mm-hmm.
which they then delivered to 9 of their neighbours. So this is their side of the events. Okay. They got to a door. They knocked 3 times. No one answered. So they left the cookies on their doorstep with a note written on heart-shaped paper saying, "Have a great night." Then they left to deliver more cookies.
Mm-hmm.
So this is the side of the person whose house it was. Okay?
Right.
So she's called Juanita Young, and she's 49 years old.
Okay.
Okay. So this is a mix of quotes from her and story. "We heard this horrible banging on the door, like someone was trying to break it down. I ran upstairs and called out, 'Who's there?' 3 or 4 times, but no one answered. When I looked out the window, there weren't any vehicles in sight, but I could see a silhouette of someone on the other side. I got really scared and called the police."
Right.
Right. "I had no idea what the note meant, and my husband was out of town, so I decided to spend the night at my sister's house. As I was driving there, I was throwing up and feeling a lot of pressure in my chest. I thought I was having a heart attack. After the deputies looked around, they weren't sure what had gone on." And this is the bit that I feel like they really fed into her ridiculous idea here, okay? They said they thought it might be a good idea if they took her mother and daughter and stayed in a motel that night.
Right.
How quickly did this spiral out of control?
Yeah, very quickly.
I don't understand.
It's cookies.
It's cookies, and it says, "Have a great night."
Maybe they're poisonous cookies.
Well, you don't have to eat them.
You do.
So anyway, before
Right.
we go any further,
Yeah.
do you think that the scale of how she reacts is tangible to what happened?
No.
No.
Like, I feel like she's been a bit of a silly Billy there.
Yeah.
It is only cookies.
Yeah.
You don't have to eat them.
Nope.
You could just leave them there.
Yeah.
It depends, though, if you're an easily frightened person.
Mm-hmm.
Someone banging on your door while you're the only one there or your husband's away may scare you.
Yeah.
But I don't understand how the cookies come into it.
No. So anyway,
Go ahead.
We go along. So the next day, Young goes to the hospital, and they die. I think
Can she read English? Maybe that's what
she
she
can.
didn't-
She can read English.
Okay.
So she was diagnosed with having a panic attack.
Right.
That was her throwing up and all that from the night before. And then she racked up a medical bill from going to the hospital.
Right.
So several days later, she found out who had left these cookies on her doorstep while she was on the phone to Taylor's mother.
Right.
The mother, I think very nicely here, offered to pay for any expenses related to her medical bills.
Wow.
And she also got her daughter and her friend to write a note of apology.
So when you phrase that kind of odd there, expenses to like around
Sorry,
it. So
her
like,
her medical bills.
Yeah.
They said they'd pay for them.
okay, right.
Sorry
Not
for
like
any wrong phrasing there.
Yeah, paying towards driving to the hospital.
No,
I'll pay
no,
the
no.
fuel that it costs you to get to the hospital.
That was just medical bills.
Right, the
they
medical
said
bills,
they'd pay
yeah.
for it. They apologized, and the daughters wrote a note.
Yeah.
Who were very confused and upset in all this because they were just trying to do a nice
Yeah.
gesture.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
the 8 other neighbors who received the cookies, I think, had a lovely experience with the cookies.
Did they eat them?
They did 8 them, I think. I don't actually know.
There's eight of them. Go on, sorry.
Your pun was not failed on me.
It was just bad.
So Young declined this offer and decided that she was going to sue them.
No.
So she took them to court. In the meantime, her husband found out this, and Taylor's father had to take a restraining order against Herb, Young's husband, because he kept harassing them by calling the house every day.
What's her first name?
Juanita.
Juanita and Herb.
And Herb. Young.
Herb Young.
Yeah.
Herb Young. It sounds like a villain's name.
It does.
Yeah.
I mean, he does come across as a bit of a villain.
Yeah.
So anyway, this went to court, and they actually ruled in Young's favour.
Wow.
And they were ordered to pay a $930 fine.
Oh.
Yeah.
Is that it?
The local radio station heard that this was going on and managed to raise $1,900 for the girls. So they paid off their fine with that, and the remaining sum they gave to charity.
So a win-win all round, really.
A win-win all round. But what a horrible hag.
Yeah, well, yeah. I feel like she may have been sold a short straw to the media there. Do you know what I mean? It sounds like she may have been portrayed poorly. Like, I feel like there's more to that story than is being said there. But I don't actually know.
Maybe. Yeah. I mean, I did a bit of research around it, and it
just for that the court ruled in their favor makes me feel like
true.
There's probably something more going on here that wasn't, as not the media's saying there.
Maybe.
Do you mean, because I imagine the media is probably going to side with the young people baking cookies than like a middle-aged woman who's complaining.
Because I wonder why. I do get the side of she might have been scared initially when that had happened, but then the fact that her husband is harassing the family as well, it seems pretty out of proportion.
And refusing to pay, like refusing the money originally.
Yeah. So anyway,
is a little bit ridiculous.
A little bit ridiculous. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Shall I go? Right. This is known as the Ghostbuster ruling.
Okay. I did not come across this.
Okay. So basically, the long and short of it is that a house was put up for sale.
Yeah.
And was bought.
Yes.
The end.
Crazy.
So basically, the person that bought the house found that it had been advertised previously as a haunted house.
Okay.
But when the house was sold, nothing was mentioned to her that it was haunted at all. Okay. So basically, the buyer took the seller to court to basically say, I'm not... Although they'd signed the contract, they later found out that it was haunted and didn't want to go through with the sale.
Right.
So basically, they took them to court, and it was found that this house had been advertised. It went into like national news about being haunted. It was found in Reader's Digest that they had claimed it was haunted and got some like actual bit of national stuff to it. Yeah. And then got people coming around to the house to feel the hauntedness, stuff like that. So it went to court originally. Went to like just a normal court of law where it got thrown out. Right. However, shall I get their names up?
Yeah, go on.
Okay. We've got the buyers are the Stambovskis.
Okay.
And the sellers are the Ackleys.
Okay.
Okay. So the Ackleys had been advertising that it was haunted, and the Stambovskis entered a purchasing agreement and put down a down payment on the house. Yeah. And then they found out it was haunted. So they took it to court, like a trial court, which is like in the American legal system is like the lower version. Got rejected, just got dismissed, thrown out, and then they appealed, and it went to the New York Supreme Court. Right. Who then heard on the case. What do you think so far?
I think immediately what sprang to mind is there's two types of people.
Yeah.
In one instance, they're advertising that this is a haunted house as a selling point, and then now this second time round, it's a very negative point for this person.
Yeah. They weren't... So when they were selling the house, they didn't say anything about it being haunted. It's just that previous to it, they'd been like, this is a haunted house, come around to it, kind of like... Right, is that what you
so
meant?
they weren't trying to sell the house
as a haunted house.
I thought you meant they were selling it previously. Okay.
No, so as in like, they were like, our house,
so they were just
this
saying
is
it's an attraction type thing.
Yeah.
Again, if I was the judge here, I'd be... Unless... I would not throw it out.
Right.
But I'd say, okay, So if you can give me proof of ghosts,
Yeah.
then maybe you got a case here. However, no.
So, as in, you would rule in the favor of the seller, that
Yeah.
the person who signed the contract has to go through with it.
Yeah.
Okay.
How is there any details on? Was there any horrific murders in this house? Anything like that?
Do you want to get to what
Should we keep
hauntings
going?
are?
Okay.
Where the claims are? Might be on my phone. 1 second. I do have the notes.
Okay. Why? Because I don't think that's. This goes back to when we were looking at 1-star reviews.
Yeah.
And someone was trying to claim that they shouldn't pay for their stay in a hotel because it's haunted.
Right.
And they were like, nah, you still got to pay.
Yeah.
It's like that. You can't just blame something on ghosts.
Yeah, it's a bit stupid, isn't it?
Again, this happened when I was getting my hair cut. The conversation got onto ghosts because Jeremy was saying ghosts are real, and people were like, well, show some proof then, because there is no proof.
True.
Yeah.
Okay, so the ghosts that are claimed to live there. So
Are they named?
Yes. So
Well, maybe they do have a case. This sounds compelling.
yeah, they originally said, so the Ackleys said that there'd been at least one ghost there since the 60s or something like that. But they had a ghost psychic person.
Yeah, that's a job.
They're not a ghost. They're someone who comes and communes with ghosts.
Yes.
She came and said that they were haunted by a couple who was called Sir George and Lady Margaret.
Okay.
And she said that they had died in England in the 1750s.
Right. Why are they there?
I don't know. She doesn't. The reasoning of the article I've read doesn't say why they're there from. They're in New York and why they would come over from England and haunt that specific house.
All sounds very believable.
That probably hadn't been built yet. And they've done some bit of digging and said, interestingly, there was a Sir George from England who married a woman called Lady Margaret, but they died almost 200 years later than the psychics suggesting.
Right.
And they said maybe she misheard what the ghost was saying. Yeah.
Is that how the process works? Do they just have a chat?
Yeah, I think they should have a bit of banter.
Yeah.
Have a little podcast, you know. There was 2 untimely deaths during the 20 years that the Ackleys claimed to be living with ghosts. The first was her husband, who died at the age of 53.
Yeah.
Intriguingly, his first name was
it George? Oh, it wasn't Sir.
Yep. Which could indicate he's the actual ghost. And then they also, the family also experienced a shocking and sudden death of a young dinner guest who died of a brain aneurysm.
Jesus.
Yeah. So they were quite young.
I bet that was a fun dinner party.
Yeah. God, I think we'll speak about them on a different time, but they scared the hell out of me.
Yeah.
Yeah. So basically what happened was it went to the Supreme Court of Law and Stambosky won.
Oh.
Yeah, they came basically and said that the house was misrepresented by not openly saying it during the sale and, through the show around, that it was advertised as haunted, that it was misrepresented.
Yeah.
Basically because as a normal buyer, you shouldn't be expected to determine whether a house is haunted or not.
Yeah.
And therefore it's a misrepresentation, so the whole contract's null and void.
So they're saying that it should have listed the fact that it was haunted.
Yes. And now that house, if it's ever sold, has to be legally has to say,
that's ridiculous.
This is a haunted house.
That is ridiculous.
And I think any house now in the US, this is cited quite regularly, I think, is that if you have claimed that your house is haunted and like put it out publicly, if you're selling that house, have to tell potential buyers.
I hate that.
Why?
That's stupid.
I don't think it is. Do you know?
Why?
Do you want me to tell you what? Because
I would get if you were required to list the murders that had happened in your house.
Right. Basically, I think that's fine, because if you're the kind of person that doesn't like the idea of owning a house that was haunted or is claimed to be haunted, then you're not going to buy it. So you would be upset if you had bought it.
Yeah.
But if you don't care, then you're like,
it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter to you. Do you know what I mean? So.
But then how far does that go?
Right.
Like, there was 3 alien abductions at this house. So you might want to be careful of that. And also, there's a bit of a problem with werewolves. And there's also a witch that lives at the bottom of the garden. And unicorns do graze here in the summer.
Well, if you've been advertising those at your house, then maybe you would have to say it. But I don't think there's a legal precedent for those yet.
Yeah. Well.
Yeah. So there's a bit more story to it as well, because there are some family members that believe Helen was the person who was haunting the house, which is Helen Hackley. She's the person who didn't say that her house was haunted.
Okay.
Yeah. And so they believe that she has now, when she died, is now the one haunting the house.
Ah.
Yeah. So
okay.
that George moved on and she's now the hauntee of the... Haunty?
Haunter?
Haunty. Doesn't sound right at all.
Haunty?
Oh, I'm so... this is very haunty, isn't it? I don't think I'll ever say that word again.
No.
Yep. There you go.
Well, that's that. That is certifiably ridiculous.
Yeah, and I think though, fair as well.
Okay.
If you sold a house that was haunted,
Maybe I'd feel differently if I experience a haunting in my lifetime.
Do you believe in ghosts?
I think we spoke about this on the podcast before.
Have we? I think we mentioned it briefly,
Because
didn't we?
I believe that I said I don't,
Yeah.
but also, in fact, I definitely did say this because I said if you were the person who said you've got to sleep in this haunted house for a night,
yeah.
but then proceeded to do
Hauntings.
haunting activities,
I was a bit of a haunty.
I'd then go
I
insane.
know, are you the haunty? Or am I the haunty?
You're the haunter,
Yeah, no.
and I'm the haunted.
Yeah, no, you're the haunty, I think.
I'm the hauntee.
Oh, no,
Oh my
because
god.
employee, and then you have customer, don't you? Yeah, sorry, we'll move on.
Let's move on then.
Yes, it was ridiculous. So basically, they didn't even determine whether the house was or wasn't haunted. It's just that they misrepresented it.
Yes,
Misrepresented it.
I follow you.
Good.
Right, what do I have? What do I go for next? So, a woman sues Disney after claiming that they stole her life story for their movie Frozen.
Wow. That sounds legit.
So, I'm going to butcher this pronunciation probably. Author Isabella Tanakumi is suing Disney for the whopping sum of $250 million and also asking that all merchandise cease to be sold in relation to Frozen.
And what's her first name?
Isabella.
And what's the girl from Frozen's first name?
What are their names?
Write in, because
I can't remember their names. It doesn't come up in the story. Oh, no, it does. Anna and Elsa. Anna and Elsa.
Good job.
There we go. So not Isabella.
Right, no.
Okay. So she released an autobiography in 2010 called Living My Truth, and she's claiming that Frozen is stealing from her autobiography.
Okay.
Despite the fact that Frozen is openly inspired by Hans Christian Andersen's story, The Snow Queen.
Right.
But anyway, so she says that she has discovered 18 similarities. I'm not going to list all 18, but
You're just going to give us the most obvious
here
ones.
are the similarities. Okay.
The slam dunks.
The slam dunks. Both stories take place in a village at the base of a mountain.
Whoa.
Yeah. Both stories contain two sisters.
Okay.
Both sisters love each other.
No way.
These are all separate points.
Okay.
One of the sisters, this is my favorite point. One of the sisters in both stories is injured in a horrible accident.
Wow.
Okay. So in Frozen, Anna hurts her head. Okay.
Yeah. She gets smacked with some snow, doesn't she?
In the Lawsuit Woman story, the sister falls into custard.
How do you even fall into custard? How do you have so much custard that you can fall into it?
I didn't read this book, and I couldn't find. I really wanted to read more about this custard incident.
What? Custard? You can't even fall into custard. Custard, you can run across custard.
I'm picturing, is there a vat of really thin custard? That's
Maybe.
just really watery? Or is it so solid that she falls onto it and hurts herself?
Was it like... Well, basically, do you know custard is a non-Newtonian fluid?
Because if you slap it hard, it's like a solid, effectively. But then if you slowly... Yeah.
So do you reckon she fell onto it, hurt herself, and then like slowly like drifted away?
Sunk into it? I don't know.
Eat your way out. It's custard.
I really wish I did have more info on that.
That's ridiculous.
So anyway, yeah, right. So this is another one. I don't see the link here. The Lawsuit sisters were caught in an earthquake. It doesn't say they died. and the Frozen sisters lost their parents in a boating accident. I don't know how that's a similarity.
Yep.
So
It's an accident, isn't it?
This is the only similarity that is similar. The sisters meet two love interests called Hans and Kristoff.
Okay.
And in both stories, that's the same. Both Kristoff and Kristoff tell the women about someone they know with healing powers.
Okay.
Both sisters get betrayed by their...
He's not a love interest, is he?
I don't know.
In Frozen?
I can't remember.
No, he's the guy that gets the ice. He's like the brother, isn't he?
I really don't know.
Go ahead, sorry.
Both stories use gates as metaphors.
Mm-hmm.
And both stories talk about hearts being cold.
Right.
And that's all the similarities.
Well, in my mind, I think she should just let it go. Let it go. Is that the headline somewhere? I'm obviously not the first person to have
The headline for this, what was it? It was, "Do you want to build a lawsuit?"
Which pretty good.
Isn't as good as yours.
No, mine, you couldn't. Lawsuit should just be let it go. It doesn't work as well.
No.
I think that's all right.
Well, would you like to know what happened?
Yes, please.
It was immediately thrown out by the judge.
Yeah, well, no surprise there. What was it, 250 million?
250 million, and the seizing of all merchandise being sold.
I imagine she didn't look anything like Elsa.
I actually didn't see pictures of her. Probably not, though.
No.
I include this purely because of the link between the custard incident and someone hurting their head.
That was great. Can you even hurt your head on custard? She fell into custard, or was it a custard incident? Like, we don't even know what it was.
It says the lawsuit woman's sister falls in custard. I suppose that could mean she slips on custard and falls.
It's weirdly worded. Weirdly worded. Yes. Yeah, I don't think I've ever had enough custard ever
to have an incident of any sort.
Yeah, unless it was some sort of delicious eating, burning my mouth incident.
That's an incident.
Yeah.
Is that an incident, though?
Actually, I have had an incident back in the day. There's a family like story.
Does it involve custard?
It does involve custard. I'll get there. Yeah.
Okay.
And it's not even a good story. Basically,
you got to tell it now.
My grandma, we would used to go around for like Sunday meal, and then every Sunday after the meal we would have like a dessert, and usually I would have chocolate pudding with custard. And my grandma was a great cook. She would make her own custard and not using the powdered stuff. And then this one time, everyone was eating this, and I was like, "There's something not right with this custard. It doesn't taste the same." And everyone was like, "No, it is the same. It is the same." And then I said, "Grandma, is it got sugar in this?" And she'd forgotten to put the sugar in the custard.
Oh my God! What a palate you have!
I know, for custard.
Very well done. And that is quite the incident.
Yes, that was an incident for me. I think it had to be there.
Here's a question for you.
Go on.
Hot custard,
yeah,
or cold custard?
Wait, sorry, what's the question?
What's better, hot or cold custard?
Well, that's not a question, is it? Because hot is obviously better.
It's obviously the cold, though.
Are you literally taking the piss?
No.
It's like asking what's better, hot pizza or cold pizza.
Cold pizza.
Nobody serves pizza cold, so therefore hot pizza must be better.
I would honestly, there's a lot of foods that I prefer cold. Pizza and custard are one of them, two of them.
What about hot coffee or cold coffee?
Yeah, I'm not a fan of iced coffee.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah. There's always the exception to the rule.
Would you rather drink some ice or some water?
Ice.
You'd rather drink. You can't drink ice, can you?
I can chew on it.
I can't be. You can't seriously believe that. That's a conspiracy, that is. You're a fool for believing that. I bet you think the Earth's flat as well, don't you?
Obviously.
Yeah. Silly. Anyway, sorry for my kind of shit story. Let's move on.
Go on then. What you got?
So my last one, I don't know if you've ever heard of this one.
Probably not.
Did you ever hear about the McDonald's coffee lawsuit?
Yes, this is the one I was going to include as an opener because I think it's the biggest case of this kind. Yeah.
Right. Well, do you know anything about it? Like, do you want to give the brief overview?
I've not included it, but I think I did enough research that I could converse about it.
Go on, just have a... Do you want to, go on.
Okay, woman buys coffee.
Yep.
She puts it between her legs as she's putting money away or something. She's something.
In the car.
Yeah, she's in the car, and she spills the coffee on her lap and claims it's McDonald's fault and sues them.
Okay.
That's it in a nutshell, I think.
Yeah, where do you stand on that? Like, just as your...
It's her fault.
Okay.
McDonald's, they can serve it as hot as they like, it's your fault if you put it in your lap and then spill it on yourself.
I don't know. Anyway, I'm gonna talk about this.
If they poured it into her lap as it was literally just made out the pot that hot, then it'd be their fault. But they served it in a cup that was marked caution hot or something to that effect with a secure lid on. And I saw later on that their reasoning is it's served between a certain temperature, a bit hotter than normal than some other companies might, because it's for people on their commute. They want to keep it hot for longer because they're getting takeout coffee, and it's a bit harder to sustain their journey.
Okay. Do you want me to go through the full story then?
Yeah, go on.
So I feel like you've been...
Have I skipped things?
You've been missold, I think.
Okay.
By them.
By them. Oh, it's them again.
It's them again.
Bloody
no, so basically, what you said, right, she was driven to McDonald's by her son.
Yeah.
Or grandson, I think it is. I can't remember. And she buys this coffee, puts it in between her legs. She's trying to take the lid off for whatever reason, and she openly admits that it was a mistake. She spilt it on herself, and that was her fault.
Yeah.
The coffee was served at 190 degrees, which is basically nearly boiling. That's Fahrenheit, sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was going to say, it's way over boiling.
Yeah. And like literally scalding. And there was over 700 reports of people being burnt by their coffee to McDonald's.
Yeah.
And she ended up getting like 3rd-degree burns on her inner thighs and genitals, where she had to go to hospital. And the surgeon said it was one of the worst cases he's ever seen.
Right.
And what she claimed was she only wanted the money to pay for her medical bills. Yeah. Basically. So I think that she's not in the wrong. I think you should be able to accidentally spill coffee on yourself without getting 3rd-degree burns.
Yeah.
And McDonald's basically openly admitted that they knew that it was like a hazard at that high temperature. Okay. And she didn't originally want to go to court, and McDonald's only offered to pay her $800 instead of the $20,000 that she was asking. She went to court, and she won by a jury trial, and they said that McDonald's should pay 2 days worth of coffee sales as a compensation, which was $2.9 million. Ooh. Yeah. But she settled out of court for just $600,000. Oh wow. And then McDonald's then began changing at what temperature it dealt to its coffee. One of the better videos that I saw about this, have you ever watched Adam Ruins Everything? No. You don't know anything about that? No. Okay, it's quite a good...
Oh, is this the one where he kind of like monologues through things and ruins history and stuff like that?
Yeah. And he does kind of goes against what is thought to have actually happened and stuff like that. Right, let me send you it and you can watch it, because I think it summarizes it very well. And if you are listening to this in a situation where you can watch that, I would watch that, because...
I might just try inserting the audio here. How long is it?
5 minutes 40. If you got time, go and watch it. Adam Ruins Everything from College Humor. Cool. Back in the room. What do you think about that then?
I change my standpoint from the beginning.
Yeah.
I think she's in the right.
I think that's fair enough, isn't it?
I think that's fair, yeah.
Because...
And I'm sorry for being slanderous.
No, I think this is why I wanted to bring it up, is because we were doing it about ridiculous lawsuits, and I think this is probably where it stems from, almost where there's they've got this propaganda from bigger companies saying we're getting frivolous lawsuits all the time. Yeah. When really it's not, and it's making people feel bad. For wanting money they probably deserve.
That's what we have run a lot over what I thought we would, but I kind of want to include the next one because it's kind of on this topic.
Okay.
So this one, I think, does err on the side of ridiculous more than sensible, but there is a thing that stems from it at the end. I'm just going to go over it quick.
Okay.
So headline is, Aunt sues 8-year-old nephew for breaking her wrist with a careless hug.
Okay.
So 54-year-old New Yorker Jennifer Connell sued her then 8-year-old, now 12-year-old nephew for an incident in which he hugged her too hard, knocked her to the floor, and broke her wrist.
Right.
So the story is, it was his birthday.
Yep.
She arrived at his house and he was super excited to see her. And then there's quotes here that he goes, Auntie Jen, and runs at her. This is from her now. All of a sudden, he was in the air. I had to catch him and we tumbled to the ground. I remember him shouting, Auntie Jen, I love you. And then he was flying at me. So her attorney is saying that he should have known better. There's rules for children. He was not being careful and he was being very unsafe. Mm-hmm. So she's saying that her life has now been made very hard after breaking her wrist.
Right.
She says that during her walk back to her flat, a lot of challenges are posed. And it gets even worse. She was at a party recently and she said it's difficult to hold her hors d'oeuvre plate.
Wow. We've all been there.
We've all been there. So anyway, she went to court with this and was seeking $127,000 from her nephew or his family.
Yeah.
She was seeking that. It was ruled against her. She didn't win.
Right. Yeah. Okay.
So from all of that, she was painted in a pretty bad light.
Yes.
And I think it still stands after this, but it does stem from the fact that her insurance, this is America obviously, to pay her medical bills, they wouldn't pay out unless they found that she wasn't at fault in some way, that it was an accident caused by someone else.
Okay.
So she had to find some fault there that wasn't just her.
Yeah.
So she used her nephew. But then the thing that I'm not standing with is that she didn't try that tactic to see if it would work with the insurance company. She then took her nephew to court. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
she went through it all. The worst thing about all this is during the whole ordeal, when they actually got to court, and this was all going against this 12-year-old at this point, his mum had just died.
Gosh.
And she still carried on with it.
Was that her sister?
No, I got the feeling that the father... I don't know, actually. I don't know.
She was his father's sister.
I think so, but I don't know that for sure.
Okay.
But I kind of get that that's almost a bigger problem as well of the American healthcare system, maybe, with...
Yeah. You have to be insured. And
Yeah.
you don't have to be insured, but if you don't have insurance, then you...
After reading that, I was like, oh my God, she's a monster.
Yeah.
And then I found out that fact about her not being able to pay her bills and they wouldn't pay unless... But then I thought about everything still after that and I was like, nah, he's still a bit of a monster.
Yeah.
Accidents happen.
Yeah. But yeah, you're still a dick for saying that. For
Taking your nephew to court during his mother dying.
Yeah.
And
gosh.
Yeah. Anyway.
Wow. What a bunch of knobs, eh?
What a bunch of knobs. Lawsuits, eh?
Lawsuits. Right.
I found an overwhelming number of these were American.
Yeah, I think it is more in American culture, or at least it's more reported within the American culture.
Yeah.
Than it is within the UK or something like that.
Yeah.
All the ones that I saw were kind of American.
I did find one Indian one as well. There was so many of these. I feel like there's enough for another episode.
Okay.
Anyway.
Right.
Anyway.
Well,
that's it.
This has been another week of Two Sheep in a Pool. Thank you very much for listening. You can find us in the usual places. And if you fancy emailing in, we are bar@twosheepinapool, BAA like a sheep. I've been James.
I've been Ben.
Thanks for listening.
See you next time.
Bye.